Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rekah Kodash. Give honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders, great millstone, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. In a sense of salutation to all the doctrine, pushing this truth and believing this truth, but the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten Son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So God to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rekah Kodash. Again, double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of great millstone who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. In a sincere salutation to all doctrine, pushing this truth and believing this truth, where the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shed light to the hope of the day. Shalom to the walk through all this learning, give you sister all this learning. Coming at you with another lesson in true fact, faith, and application. Another daily application, Lord, which is better find. So I titled this lesson, Esau has made the world a wilderness. And as the head brother of the camp always say, everybody, all nations need missiles and guns because of Esau eating a so-called white man. So I was listening to something yesterday, actually, and that made me tie this lesson. Esau has made the world a wilderness because everybody is legally not. And I was just listening to something that was in the news about suing. Everybody, you can sue everybody. Oh, I was going to title it at first. Everybody is hustling everybody. The world is a ghetto. And I heard this from Martin on one of the Martin shows a while ago, man. Everybody is hustling everybody. Everything is about a bag, the money. Esau got everybody chasing after money, man. So I was listening to like you. I was listening to it was a commercial about suing somebody, whether it's an accident or whatever. And it all leads to chasing that bag, man. Everybody's trying to get over, man. The earth is the earth is destroyed, man. Like we eating GMO foods, chemtrails, and drinking contaminated waters. Like everything is messed up because of these bastards, man. And I just got a few precepts, just meditating on how these devils, and the apostles been saying this for years. Like they got chemtrails in the air, the same air that their people have to breathe. Even if the elites don't have to breathe this air, because they probably don't got chemtrails. I'm pretty sure there are no chemtrails getting sprayed in their area. But if you spraying chemtrails, that means everybody breathing this in, even your own people. And we bring this out week in and week out, man. It count. The so-called white man own all the resources. Yet their people are losing their generation of wealth and white privilege. Otherwise, there wouldn't be no homeless white people in America, man. These tent cities, so-called white people is among them Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, them West Indians and Haitians. So-called white people is among them, man. Their people own all the resources, but yet they are losing. The common so-called white person is losing their white privilege and generational wealth, man. These people, the elites I'm talking about, is destroying their own house. Their own house. So I want to play this from this movie, Planet of the Apes. And I'm gonna get a few precepts. They are destroying their own house, man. Let's play this.
Born terror. Deliver the message. Over here. Sit down.
Taylor, please. Don't treat him like that.
Why not?
It's humiliating.
Why I was humiliated by all of you? You led me around on a leash.
That was different. We thought you were inferior.
Now you know better. Cornelius was right, Doctor. He proved it. Man was here first. You owe him your science, your culture, whatever civilization you've got.
Then answer me this. If man was superior, why didn't he survive?
Wiped out by a plague, some natural catastrophe. A storm of meteors. From the looks of some parts of this planet, I'd say that was a fair bet.
But we can't be sure.
He is. He knew all the time, long before you found your cave. He knew. Defender of the faith, guardian of the terrible secret. That's it, isn't it, Doctor?
What I know of man was written long ago, set down by the greatest ape of all, our lawgiver. Cornelius, come here. Reach into my pocket. Read to him the 29th scroll, 6th verse.
Beware the beast man, for he is the devil's pawn. Alone among God's primates, he kills for sport, or lust, or greed.
Now I tell you in Proverbs 10 and 23 that it is a sport to a fool to do mischief. You heard what he just said? He killed for sport or greed. Well, that's in Proverbs 10 and 23. It is a sport to a fool to do mischief, man.
Yea, he will murder his brother to possess his brother's land. Let him not breed in great numbers, for he will make a desert of his home and yours.
He said he will possess his brother's land, right? He will possess his brother's land. Who is Esau Edom's brother? Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons, right? Who became the Israelites. Jacob's name was changed to Israel after wrestling an angel. I want to pull up, bear with me for a second. I want to pull up this other clip. That's a longer version of the original one. I want to play the original one as well. So hold on, bear with me here. Let me pull this up. We're gonna play that again. All right. So let me come back. Let's finish playing this. So let's listen to this again. Listen to this from the beginning. What he say?
Born terror. Deliver the message.
See what he say?
The born terror. Deliver the message.
That's Esau Edom, man.
Over here. Sit down.
Taylor, please.
Shalom to all the Akim not walk tuning in. Yeah, about Shema Shah Barakathum. Yeah, he got to be stopped, man. As he said in his clip, he will destroy his home and the others, man. I got some precepts, man. This devil don't care about his own people. As it said in Ecclesiasticus 14, that he's a niggard at his own table, his own house, his own family line. We're gonna
Don't
prove
treat
it.
him like that.
Why not?
It's humiliating.
The way I was humiliated by all of you? You led me around on a leash.
That was different. We thought you.
Hey, what does devil do? Everybody hustling everybody. You got this bastard to put a Chili's and an Applebee's in the same spot. That's competition. This nigga put a McDonald's, a Wendy's, and a Burger King in the same spot. They all three selling the same garbage. Wendy's, Burger King, and McDonald's. This is competition. Hey, these niggas is cold, man. Everything is about money, greed, man. And the rest of the world is following the same thing. And it all leads back to the bag. Everything dealing with Esau eating the so-called white man leads back to the bag, which leads back to what? Conditioning and gradualism to make you slow better niggas take that micro C help, man. Everything leads back to the RFID microchip, man. It's about the bag. Push your mind to chase the bag. So they can say, oh yeah, well, we introducing this new system. What you gotta do? You gotta conform and comply to get the bag. It's all about the bag, man.
Were inferior.
Now you know better. Cornelius was right, Doctor. He proved it. Man was here first. You owe him your science, your culture, whatever civilization you've got.
Then answer me this. If man was superior, why didn't he survive?
Wiped out by a plague, some natural catastrophe, a storm of meteors. Now, looks at some parts
And
of
see,
this
we
planet.
know
I'd
the
say
only
that.
one that's gonna survive is the remnant of Israel and them Edomite elites, man. It's gonna go into them bunkers who the Lord gonna preserve them so they can bring back their fresh batch of slaves in the kingdom for slavery, man.
Okay, I bet.
But we can't be sure.
He is. He knew all the time, long before you had terrible secret. That's it, isn't it, Doctor?
What I know of man was written long ago. Set down by the greatest ape of all. Reach into my pocket. Read to him the 29th scroll.
See? And they said the same thing. We can have a cook too, man. Let me get this. Said the same thing in Habakkuk. So I'm gonna read the regular version. Salakia, play the regular one. Let's play this.
Set down by the greatest ape of all. What I know of man was written long ago. Set down by the greatest ape of all, our lawgiver. Cornelius, come here. Reach into my pocket. Read to him the 29th scroll.
His brother's land. Let him not breed in great numbers, for he will make a desert of his home and yours. There.
See, drive him back into his jungle lair, man. And that's what happened when you read the book of Job in Job 30. It said they cried after him as after a thief to dwell in the caves of the earth, man. See, this is hey, we got to drive him back into the hey out of what is Job 15. Let me read this. The Lord said he had in Jeremiah 49 and 10 that he made Esau bear. This movie is very spiritual, Salakia. He leave the plantation at 10:30 tonight, man. Friday's my night shift. Anyway, in Job, what's that? Job 15. Hey, these devils, man. This is Job 10 and 15. Job 15:21. A dreadful sound is in his ears, which these least hearing this truth, as the regular common Edomites. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him. The destroyer is Jehovah Shah. Verse 22 is the point. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. So he believed that he gonna turn out of darkness. Well, the Lord said, Jeremiah 49 and 10, that he made Esau bear, man. He made him bear. So ain't no more darkness. Then it said he believed that he should not return out of darkness. That darkness is him being in secret. That whole secret society garbage. No, man, we know who you are, man. And what we are doing now, we are spiritually driving them back into the caves, man, back into their who they are. This truth is exposing these devils, and now the world knows they are Edomites. They ain't white people, they ain't Caucasians, they ain't the Greeks or the Romans. They the Dukes of Edom, man. Let's play this part again. Let's just play this again, man.
What I know of man was written long ago, set down by the greatest ape of all, our lawgiver. Cornelius, come here. Reach into my pocket. Read to him the 29th scroll, 6th verse.
Beware the beast man, for he is the devil's pawn. Alone among God's primates, he kills for sport,
Kill
or
for
lust,
sport.
or greed. Yea, he will murder his brother to possess his brother's land.
See?
Let him
He will
not
murder
breed
his
in great
brothers.
numbers,
That's that Psalms
for
50,
he will
man.
make a desert of his home.
That's that Psalms 50, right? He slandered his own mother's son, man. And what he said in Genesis 27, the days of my father at hand, thence would I slay my brother Jacob, man. Oh, this is in this little few seconds clip, man. Tell my Esau.
And yours. Shun him. Drive him back into his jungle lair.
See? Drive him back into his jungle lair. Let's read that. In Job 30, in 1 it reads, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I will have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Job wouldn't even sit he wouldn't even sit the so-called white man around his dogs. And I make the point all the time. They either gonna neuter the dog, they're gonna eat the dog, or they're gonna have sex with the dog. Bestiality. They don't pass laws on this, man. Yet whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished, for want and famine they were solitary, fleeing in the wilderness into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste. What's the wilderness? Europe, the bottomless pit, man, a low land of resources. Who cut up mallows by the bushes, marshmallow roots, and juniper roots for their meats. And they love marshmallow. They love these Edomites love to sit around the fire, talking about some damn s'mores, man. who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meats. They were driven forth from among men. What he just said, drive them back into their jungle lair. Let's play it again.
jungle lair, for he is the harbinger of death.
Hold on.
For he is the harbinger of into his jungle lair. For back into shun him, drive him back into his jungle lair.
Drive
For
him
he
back into his jungle lair, man. Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper root for their meats. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. To go well, to dwell into the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed. Under the nettles they were gathered together. Under the bushes they brayed, sound like horses, donkeys, mules, and pigs. They were children of fools, yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth.
is the harbinger of death.
He is the harbinger of death. Habakkuk 2 in verse 6. Verse 5, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine his policies, his philosophies, his religion, his draconian measures, his constitutions. He is a proud man, neither keep at home, who enlargeth his desires hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. That's the harbinger of death. But gather unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people.
What I know of
So let me get this. Isaiah, this is Psalms 82 and 5. It's got a few precepts, man. He done turned his own house into a wilderness, man. Psalm 82 and 4, it said, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. And they tell you in Obadiah 1 and 7, he has none understanding, man. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. This is the remember I just said it read in Job 15, they believe that they should not return out of darkness. They walk on in darkness, wickedness, secret. Now we know who you are. They they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Why? Because of who's in rulership, man. The earth is out of course because of who's in rulership. Isaiah 24 and 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Those that's in ruler, those that's ruling, that make the laws, that print the money. They have transgressed the laws. What laws? The laws of Yahweh Shema Shah. They passed bestiality laws. Women can commit adultery and get away with it. There's all kinds of laws that's passed here in America, Babylon the Great. In other countries, it say because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance. Ain't no land Sabbath. A Sunday worship is worshiping a pagan idol. Said in Ezekiel 8, man, they face the east, worshiping the sun, man. And you got niggas go to church on Sunday faithfully. That's a pagan custom because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Why? Because of him, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, that's turning his own kingdom into a wilderness. Proverbs 11:29. He that troubleth his own house, he that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. And what is they doing? They troubling their own house. Look at his people. Everybody ready. These people right now ready to go against the elites, man. They ready to go against the government right now. It's called sedition. He that Proverbs 11:29. He that troubleth his own house. He's troubling his own people. You got veterans. Edomite veterans that went to the war and fought and made it back home, and they can't even get their benefits. And the Lord said He hate that, man. A man of war that suffers poverty, man. This so-called white man don't even care about his own damn people, man. Proverbs 11:29. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart, which is prophecy. The so-called white man is going back to be a servant to the Israelites. Shalom to the Akim tuning in. Yahweh Shema Shah Brakathon. Again, Proverbs 11:29. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. And what is he doing? He's destroying his own people, man. Generational wealth and white privilege don't apply to the Edomites like it did back in the 40s and the 50s, man. All the Edomites, man. Those right now that's living in tent cities, I did a lesson on this about 4 or 5 years ago, man. These Edomites that's living in their RVs and vans, they used to have a house, a family, a nice job. They had generational wealth and white privilege. They don't got it no more, man. Because the elites is taking it away, man. He that troubleth his own house, his own people, his own family line, his own lineage, shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. Yeah, they going back to being servants, man. That's their original form. Their original habitation to be a servant. This is Micah 2:2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family, who? The Edomites, do I devise an evil, from which you shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. In that day shall one take up a parable against you, and lament with a doleful lamentation, and say, we be utterly spoiled. He have changed the portion of my people. How have he removed it from me? Turned away, he have delivered our fields. Let me get this. Hey, you devil got a real judgment coming, man. Hey, you think you done got away with this? This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 9. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house. Like I read in Proverbs 11:29. That he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thine house, and by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul. This is about the so-called white man's house. Thou hast consulted shame to thine house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul. This is about him and his house, man. The Lord gave this bastard 3 rulerships, man. Let's read this again in Proverbs 11:29. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. The Lord gave this devil 3 times to rule, and they all been in wickedness. That is Isaiah 26:10. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness, Israel, will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of Yahweh. So the Lord, so the so-called white man ain't gonna be able to say in that day, he didn't show us no favor. Yeah, he did. The other heathen nations that ruled the earth, they ruled it once. The so-called white man has had 3 times to rule the earth, man. 3 times. The Greeks is when they established their power, when they established their wickedness, when they established the sword. The Romans is when they magnified the sword, when they magnified their power, when they magnified their wickedness. With the American Empire is when they perfected the sword, when they perfected their wickedness, when they perfected their power. 3 times. In each one of them, has been in wickedness. So the Lord say in Isaiah 47, in verse, let me get here. This is Isaiah 47 in verse the destruction that's coming to America is going to come in her perfection, man. This is Isaiah 47 and 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. It shall come upon thee in thy perfection. The Greek Empire, the so-called white man, established his wickedness. Okay? The sword, his power. The Roman Empire, he magnified the sword, the power, his wickedness. With the American Empire, they perfected the sword, their wickedness, their power. So the Lord is only being justified and justifying, destroying these bastards in their perfection, man. And it said in Job 15 that the sword is waiting for him, man. It'll tell you in Ezekiel 28 and 7, the Lord gonna bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall draw their swords against thy beauty, man. But this is the shame that's been coming to the so-called white man's house. He don't care about his own people. Show you that these bastards should not be in rulership. But the Lord gave them the earth to rule in wickedness, man. They don't care about their own people. Because if they did, it wouldn't be no GMO foods. And you can't sell GMO foods without Jake knowing about it. So what they doing is they trying to kill off all the Jakes, man. They want to set up censors, right? These bastards came to my door talking about, yeah, we doing census. I said, listen, you know the Lord said we can't do census. And the Edomite chick said, I wish my husband can hear what you said. I said, listen, I ain't taking no damn census. You tell you that in Chronicles when Satan tempted David to censor all of Israel. So I told the chick, the Edomite chick, she said, I wish my husband can hear this. Listen, man, these bastards, if they knew where all Israel was at, we would have been dead, man. But the Lord had us to put our seed in these heathen nations. Okay? Put our seed in these heathen nations. Hey, when you read Jeremiah 12 and 9 and say, my heritage is unto me the speckled bird, when Jake come back not looking like Chinese, Japanese, Arabs, Egyptians, right? These Indians. So you can't, so when Esau was selling, so now he just gotta say, listen, we don't know who's who. So let's just put chemtrails, GMO food everywhere. Let's contaminate the water everywhere. Because they don't know who's who, man. And when the scriptures say Israel is the stars of heaven, man, like sand on the beach, man. So on the best thing Esau can do is let's just contaminate everything. Show you he's a devil, a bastard, because he don't even care about his own people. Well, the Lord is cold, because those that look like Edomites could be Jakes, and those that look like Jakes could be Edomites, and those that look like Chinese and Japanese could be Israelites. Okay, so the best thing he can do is let's just contaminate all the food, all the air. Fuck who gonna breathe it in. We don't care if our people gonna get it. Whoever, let's just contaminate all the waters, all the food, all the air, and we'll get them that way because they want their birthright back. And they know they can't get it back. They know it's prophecy. That's the article Apostle Gabal went into, and I did lessons on Ron Patton and Miriam Knox, man. They want their birthright back. So they said they're gonna pretend to be Jacob when they know they're from the house of Edom. So they know that they know that Israel is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. They know we like the stars of heaven. We like the sand on the beach. So the best thing they can do is just contaminate all the food, all the water, all the air. And we'll get them that way. And if that don't get them, we're gonna push these diseases. The who on the CDC, so-called white man. And the Lord said it in Deuteronomy 28 and 60 and 61. Even the plagues that's not written in the Bible shall cleave to us, man. And he let the so-called white man do it. Why? For 2/3, destroy 2/3, man. Everything is this bastard, and he don't even know he's destroying because he said he had no understanding. He's destroying his own house. This is the judgment that's going to affect him and his seed line, man. Let me close with these 3 precepts. Let's prove that this is going to backfire on these bastards. Let's prove this. In Isaiah 14 and 22, it reads, let's read 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Verse 22 is the point. For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant, and the son and nephew, saith the Lord. This is Job 18. This is backfiring on him, man. This is Job 18 in verse 16. His root shall be dried up beneath, and above his branch shall be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the streets. What's the name? The Dukes of Edom. In Genesis 36, the Edomites. It reads, verse 18, he shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He shall have neither son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. Said the same thing in Isaiah 14:22. No son, no nephew. Here's another one, Jeremiah 49. See, this is backfiring on these bastards, man. This is Jeremiah 49 and 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. That's 3 precepts about son, nephew, his brethren. Their lineage is going to be cut off, man. This is backfiring on them. And right now, they have a what is called epidemic going on when they are dying faster they can be born. They got a suicide rate, right? They ain't reproducing. And they have an opioid crisis amongst the so-called white man. Opioid crisis, suicide rate, and they are dying fast and they can be born. They ain't reproducing, man. Yeah, it's backfiring. But the scriptures say let's close with this again. Proverbs 11 and 29. And it reads, he that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. And that's what he's doing. All the wickedness the so-called white man have done in the earth is backfiring and troubling his own house, man. Yeah, Lord was edifying. Gotta give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rikah Kurash, the bonus to the apostles and the bishops and elders, great millstone who are well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all our pushing this truth and believing this truth for the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning. You for sisters who are listening for tuning in. May Yahweh shall continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Wah, abba, abba.